to the Ethan Live podcast. It is Tuesday, August the 12th, and we are continuing our Hero Dog Awards semifinalist series. And we're so happy to have on the podcast now Therapy Hero Dog semifinalist Rigby and her person, David. How you doing, David?
Good, great. Good to see you guys. Happy
Yeah,
to be here.
it's good
Thanks
to see
for
you.
coming.
You and I connected in a different kind of way than most of them. I was trying to reach out to as many people as I could, and I got an email from you that said, "Hey, I saw some of the things you were doing," and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of you."
I found you first.
Well, that was good.
That's good.
That made that process simpler.
Yeah, I'm going to hire you into our detective agency.
Yeah.
Do some research on people. So, what part of the country are you all in, David?
Well, I'm up in what we call the lower Hudson Valley of New York. I'm in Tuxedo Park, which if you looked at the map and you went up the Hudson River about 30 miles north of Manhattan, and then you did a dog leg left going west, there's a little area called Tuxedo Park, and that's where I live now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's very cool. Before we jump into Rigby and her story of all the cool things you guys are doing, tell us a little bit about what your background was and about your life before Rigby sort of came into your life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm born and raised on Long Island. I've been in the New York area for many decades. Professionally, I am a lawyer. I'm still working, but I'm sort of at that point where I'm free to work from home, which is
that's nice.
Which is a great benefit considering what the commute would be like. Well, my firm's office is in the city, but so I commute from my bedroom to my home office.
Oh, well, that's
pretty easy stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
I grew up as an animal lover. As a kid, and I give my parents a lot of credit, I was into reptiles, and my father built cages, and my basement was quite a menagerie of snakes, lizards, turtles, and the like. But my affiliation for dogs began at that early age because of course, my father brought home a Beagle Terrier mix, Freckles, that he brought home from the Bidewee Animal Shelter. And when I was little, one of my fondest memories were on those cold winter nights, and you're sort of huddled under the blankets, and Freckles would jump up on the bed and curl up and lay down with me. And I just thought, as a 5 or 6 year old, that was kind of a great experience. And that kind of bonded me to dogs, all due respect to cats and cat lovers.
Yeah.
But fast forward several decades, and dogs came into my life again when my daughter was old enough to have a dog, and she had been pushing, can we get a dog? Can we get a dog? And I said, okay, well, we'll wait. But kind of, the backstory is I was kind of happy she was pushing me because I wanted to. So it all started with Amber. She was a golden retriever, and she was sort of the genesis to my doing all this because she was just such a wonderful dog and such an affectionate dog. And I marveled at how she was with the kids in the neighborhood. It was just, I was always happy to bring her out there and have her interact with the kids. And a friend of a friend told me that, if you have a dog with that kind of personality and that's well behaved, there are things you can do with that dog. You can take that dog places, and it's called pet therapy. And I thought, what a wonderful idea. I started thinking about it. So well, that's something I like to do. But, one of life's hard lessons are that if you keep saying, I can do it tomorrow, at some point you run out of tomorrows. And, when I lost Amber and, kind of saw that all fade away, I knew I wasn't going to let that happen again. And it wasn't too long before Cassie, my second golden, came into my life. And I promised myself, and as a promise to Amber, I was not going to squander this opportunity. And when Cassie became a year old and she was old enough to be certified through an organization, Pet Partners, took all the handler training, did the evaluation, she passed, and we were off and running.
Oh,
We started doing nursing homes, senior centers. We were even doing a juvenile correction facility. And I was with a small group of other handlers. We would kind of go together. And on one Sunday, the leader of this little group brought in another person who was a handler to come in and talk about her experience. And this was Barbara. And she came she had a Sheltie named Lily, and she came and we had a little group gathering. And she started to tell me what she was doing on Sundays at this hospital in the city.
oh,
A few Kleenex tissues later, and it just clicked. And I went up to her afterwards and I said, that's something I really want to do. And she connected me, and we joined the program at Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital, which is part of
okay.
the New York Presbyterian Hospital, Columbia University Medical Center, big,
Uh,
major city hospital complex.
Oh,
And we joined this program that they have called Pause for Patients. And Cassie and I started showing up on Sundays. Sunday was my preferred date because being outside of the city, to get into the city, Sundays are much easier
it
to,
was a little easier. Yeah. Okay.
except when the New York Yankees have a home game.
Oh,
You got to get over the GW Bridge.
Right.
That aside, Cassie was legendary. We did 10 years of
oh my.
Sundays. Virtually every Sunday she would be there. She was well known. I mean, she was known by everybody, the nurses, the staff. Uh, amazing therapy dog. And as I say, Cassie set the bar for
Mm.
what a dog should do. And she was so good at the hospital actually did a video about her,
Oh,
a short video. It was about 2 minutes long, called "The Day in the Life of a Therapy Dog." It was an internal promotional thing.
uh-huh.
And a producer from Good Morning America actually saw it. And that led to, we actually had an appearance on Good Morning America.
Oh, wow. How
So,
cool. Very
so
cool.
it was an amazing experience. But shortly before her 10th anniversary of doing work there, she suddenly passed away.
Oh,
And
sorry.
that led to Rigby. And while she's here, maybe I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's break time.
She's
yeah.
touching the snooze there. Rigby, want to say hi?
Hey. Oh, it's not Sunday. It's her day off.
Yeah. She's catching a few Z's. She was outside running on the field before.
Oh, she's
So,
beautiful.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, she is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about, by the way, her name, I picked her
Yeah.
name out of my Beatles playlist.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I dropped the Eleanor and kept the Rigby.
Yeah. I wondered,
So,
we were talking about vinyls today. Today's National Vinyl Day, and we were
is
talking
it?
old records. So yeah.
I have a modest collection of vinyl.
Oh, cool.
Sort of
Very cool.
gone back to my youth.
Yeah.
That
Hear ya.
modest sounds like it could be a lot of vinyls.
No, actually, it's not. I have about
Okay.
70
Yeah. He's
albums.
got the Beatles. He doesn't need anything else. So he's
Yeah, that's
so
But
how did you
So
end
you
up
guys
how did
got
Rigby come into your life?
say that again. I'm sorry.
How did Rigby come into your life then after
Well,
you
Rigby, there was no question I was going to get another golden. I was
Yeah.
so in love with the breed. And both Cassie and Amber came from the same breeder, a good friend of mine, Tom.
Okay.
In fact, Cassie was a direct descendant of Amber's sire or father. So
Oh,
they were direct on line. And although Tom was no longer breeding, he introduced me to Giselle, who he had crossbred with, and Giselle was having a litter. And remarkably, that litter, if you traced the family tree, the lineage, it
Uh-huh.
actually went back to Amber's father.
Again. Oh, wow.
So, I knew that was going to have to be it. And
Uh-huh.
so she came home when she was 8 weeks old. And, she's my 24/7 therapy dog.
Oh,
But she's a good girl, and she's got that same loving personality. And
disposition. Mhm.
so, but, I had to wait till she was a year old, which is a required minimum age. So it was kind of a rough year because you're so used to every Sunday having that same routine. This is what we're going to do. And then it's like
Yeah.
you wake up saying, gee, what am I going to do today? But she started when she was a year old. She got her certification, and it, it's
And,
it's been quite a ride for me. Now it's 16 years. I've been doing this for the past 18. I lost 2 years. One when we were furloughed during COVID.
oh,
Of course,
uh-huh.
the other year was between losing Cassie and
And yeah.
Rigby getting certified. But we have this routine on Sunday morning. First, I make sure that usually the day before she gets her bath, she's all
Oh,
cleaned up, nice and neat. And then Sunday morning, get her prepped, put on her jacket, working vest, which, by the way, I would like to comment. Let me just kind of show.
oh, yeah.
This
Oh,
is
my.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
was this was Cassie's vest.
Oh.
Oh,
So,
okay.
she wears that, and they were very. Cassie left very big paw prints. Uh,
Yeah.
at the,
Yeah.
and I got to tell you, this girl here, as she's risen to the occasion, as I say,
Oh,
not only has she filled those very big paw prints, but she took the bar that Cassie set, and she's raised that bar even higher.
no.
So that's kind of how we get to where we are now. The more just a word about the hospital I mentioned before, it's a world-class hospital. It generally doesn't treat kids. So she is in front of it before we went in. They generally don't treat children with appendicitis or broken elbows. This is a hospital that treats children of all ages, from newborns to adolescents, uh, for chronic illnesses,
Uh-huh.
diseases, oncology,
Hmm.
transplants. Uh, and the children there come from across the United States. They come from Europe, Middle East. They come from Asia.
Oh,
Uh,
goodness.
yeah, it's quite a
Renowned hospital.
facility. And so, as I said, we're in their program is called Pause for Patients, and we're there on Sundays. And the process is we check in. That's already
Oh,
been some of the nurses
Mhm.
check in, and we get a list from their Child Life Services group, which pre-screens the floors as to who would like a visit. And we cover 4 designated floors, and we go to 3 different ICUs. And we
oh,
go and make the visits with the kids that requested it. But while we're walking on the floor, we're often stopped and asked if we could go in and make a visit, to someone who may have missed the opportunity to get on the list.
right.
And that's when magic happens. When I'm on the floor with Rigby, when I enter a room with Rigby, uh, it is like magic because she
Mm.
changes the mood. The first thing that happens, when we come through the double doors and into the floor, I'm going to hear Rigby's here, and those
Oh,
are from the nurses.
Mhm.
Uh, see her first, and they adore her. They fawn over her. They love her, and as you saw in that picture before, they always gather around her. They take their selfies with her. One of the things that sometimes they take more pictures of this than they do of Rigby.
yeah.
is her ID badge that she wears on the side of her jacket, because it's the same ID badge they wear.
Oh,
There it is now.
oh,
And it's just to watch her engage, and I think engage is probably the best word I could come up with.
yeah.
She sees somebody, and it's like she locks in her attention. His tail starts to wag. She smiles even more, and she works her way to that person, and it's just all out attention that she gives. And I see, it's like seeing the effect on people, and it's remarkable.
Uh-huh.
And I'd use the word amazing, because New York Presbyterian Hospital's tagline has been "Amazing things are happening here."
Oh,
When I look at her and what she does,
it's amazing.
it's amazing.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And she has such a huge, as we can see from the pictures, and it's such a huge impact. Not only putting aside what it does for the patients that are there, but it's such a huge heartwarming thing for the staff that are there too.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're exactly. It's multifaceted, and as I said, she's a pediatric therapy dog, but she's an equal opportunity therapy dog. So,
Oh,
doctors, nurses, obviously, clearly the kids and the kids' families, because these kids are there long term. They're there not just for days; they're there for weeks. Some of them are there for months. There have been kids there for over a year waiting for a heart transplant. So
uh-huh.
the families are constantly there, and the families need the parents, or it could be the siblings or the grandparents. So, she'll gravitate towards everyone and anyone. And I'm just amazed at how affectionate she is. And again, the transition that goes on with this. If there's a couple of the pediatric doctors in one of the ICUs.
Oh,
I mean, it's just, yeah, I wish I could really convey, I can only tell you, but I wish I could convey to you the emotion that I experienced, that the doctors and the nurses experience, that the kids experience. I often talk about it, my doing this, and it's, when I say my doing this, it's all about her. Because
uh-huh.
without her, there's nothing to do. But I call it a privilege. Uh, it's, call it community service, call it volunteering, call it whatever you want. But what motivates me every week is that it's a privilege, because I'm there, I'm in the room, I'm at the other end of the leash, and I'm seeing it, I'm experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're there, you really don't feel what's going on. It's like, I guess, if you went to a great magic act, so a great magician or an illusionist, and in front of you live, they perform some trick or some illusion, and you just,
Marvel at.
how do they do that?
Right.
It moves you. I mean, it stirs you. But if you try to tell your friend or family what the
Yeah.
act is, oh, that's interesting. So for me, it's like being there and watching her, and experiencing her performing that magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she puts the vest on, and she knows it's time to work. And dogs are so incredible and amazing. And you go in there, and for her to be able to go into different rooms of different people, and be able to recognize what that particular person needs from her at that time is, like you say, you just sit back and you just marvel at
Marvel at.
how that works and how that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Often, I get, obviously, so many thank yous, for what you've done. And I always say, don't thank me, thank Rigby. She does
Right.
all the heavy lifting. I'm just holding the leash.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, again, I say this on every podcast because it's so true. Dr. Robbins says heroes on both sides of the leash.
Yeah.
She does she does amazing things when she gets to the hospital, and how she can knock down barriers and see what people need from her and bring a smile and release some tension and some pressure. But, heroes on both
Yeah.
sides. She can't drive herself to the hospital. She can't commit every Sunday to take her.
Not yet. She hasn't figured that out yet.
She can't post on social media. She can't type. I mean, that's a tribute to you and the
Yeah,
time, really the
definitely.
time and effort you've put into it over the course of like 16 years. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, it's like, the expression goes, any given Sunday. I
Mm.
know that when we make this trip, it's usually like an hour from here
Oh,
to get down there. And then, we check in, we, go over the list, and we do all her rounds. And I get back in the car. I know that by the time I get back in the car, I will have experienced at least several really moving interactions, whether
mm.
it be with a patient or family or doctors or nurses. And especially I have to give a shout. I love all the nurses, and nurses love her. But a real shout out to the nurses in the three ICUs that we go to, because those are such stressful pressure cooker type
Definitely.
environments. And they just, I mean, adore her. It's
Yeah.
probably the best way I could describe it. In fact, well, I will share something. I'm happy to show you. I had no idea they were doing this. On one of the floors in the hospital, the nurses got together and they made up a mug.
Oh, I got you. Watch this. Here we go. Talk to us
Yeah,
about the mug. Yeah.
yeah. They
Oh,
put her picture on the mug, and on the other side they wrote Rigby Four Tower Family. It's the wing of the hospital is called the Tower Wing, and it was the fourth floor, and they did that. And they gave me a beautiful card with it. I'm gonna, allow me to read just a couple of entries from it. Rigby, you are such a good girl. Thank you for comforting all of us during the difficult times. We love you.
no.
Rigby, since you have been here, you have brought happiness, calmness to many patients, families, and staff. You have brightened the days, very much like your sister Cassie did for many years. You were
Mm.
part of the Four Tower family. I mean, they're just,
Yeah.
lots of expressions like that. And
Oh,
so, again, there's so much about this that I'd love to do, but it makes us, Rigby and I, feel part of this community of
uh,
caregivers, of they're doing amazing things for these kids. Uh, and, it's just, uh, yeah, it is a commitment, but it's a
yeah.
commitment
Definitely.
of love, because they depend on us, they expect us, they hope we'll be there, and we certainly want to be there. And I give credit to Cassie and certainly now Rigby, for making this part of their routine.
Mm.
And she goes, both of them go, for pet therapy, to give pet therapy, but as you might see from some of the pictures that you're showing, uh, Rigby gets people therapy in return because she gets all this affection, attention. I always say, she needs to soak it up because, she just that much attention at home. She just can't turn to that many people. But she really, yeah, that's
Oh, wow.
you couldn't see a happier dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how she lights up. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Such a,
so
such a beautiful picture right there. I love that smile on her
Yeah.
face.
yeah. When you say a picture's worth 1,000 words,
Yeah.
I got a million words there.
Well, you all
Yeah.
are the perfect team together.
Yeah. There is another aspect to this,
Uh-huh.
that is, sometimes difficult to talk about, but it's extremely important. We get to know these kids over a long period of time because of the amount of time they've been there, and some of them are heroically, themselves being heroes, heroically battling their situation. Uh,
Yeah.
you get to know them, and from time to time, we lose them.
Mhm.
And you sort of have to kind of deal with that, or deal
Sure.
with emotion when you enter a room, of the condition that some of these kids are in, with the monitors and the tubes and the IVs and stuff, or they're just recovering from major surgery or a transplant. And
Mm.
you know you have to kind of process that. And people say, well, then how do you, I don't think I could do it. How do you do it? How do you do this when you've gotten to know a child, and then you come back the following week and you find out that that child has passed? And it is hard, but you think about, when I think about what she does and the
Mhm.
comfort that she gives, and the healing, for the kids, for the families, for the doctors and nurses. That's what's important,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it so worthwhile. We've had situations where we had a special request to enter a room where the child was in his or her final stages, because the parents wanted a dog in there because they felt a dog
Um,
would help their child transition.
mm,
And we would go in there. Uh, we've been asked sometimes by some of the nurses if we could bring her into one of the ICU rooms, so that child could have an opportunity, in the remaining time, to be with Rigby.
mm.
Uh, had some requests where they wanted a child to have the touch of a dog,
No.
physically, put the hands on the dog.
Mhm.
Uh, and they're difficult to do, but they're so important to do, because I see how much it means to the parents,
Yes. Yeah.
to the family. And maybe she's not rescuing someone from a burning building or finding a lost child in the woods or something, but her doing that, and doing it with the same affection that you
Mhm.
would have for, to me, that's heroism.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And I just marvel at
That
the
what
power. I think American Humane called it. She has an uplifting power.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That
and
Yeah.
so you guys, through that work, you hear about. Tell us a little bit about how you heard about Hero Dog Awards. I think that's
Yeah.
a cool story, and you wanting to nominate her for that.
Yeah.
Well, I knew about American Humane from on some of these network news broadcasts. They were doing these military reunifications,
Hmm.
with and of course, those types of stories really tug at your heartstrings.
Oh, definitely.
So I had some familiarity with American Humane, but uh, someone who's very special to me, Jean, is a first responder with American Humane,
Very
and
cool.
she's been on deployments. And you know, through her, I've become quite familiar with the rescue work that they've done, either a natural disaster or it's a puppy mill, and she's
Yeah.
been very active on some of those deployments. So when this competition, if you will, came about, really wasn't going to do it. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of, I just didn't think it was going to lead anywhere, or well, I don't know, maybe the story's not that great.
Oh,
And first, Gene kind of nudged me, and then push.
then
Okay,
harder.
I'll fill out the application. I'll send in some pictures. And well,
And
I was
hard.
pretty stunned when I got the email.
Oh, were
So
you?
so proud, so very proud.
Yes, you should be. Goodness.
Right.
It's
But
so
it is, it's. Oh, Rigby's going to get up. Go ahead, Rigby.
yeah.
It is kind of hard for me to call it a competition or a contest. All
Yeah.
these dogs, these stories of all these dogs, are just, they humble me.
Mm.
They amaze me. And how many of the other entrants that didn't make it to semifinals, they're all heroes. They're
Oh,
all winners.
yeah.
Uh, so
I like to think of it more as recognition as opposed to contest, because the awareness and the just being able to get that story out there for people to hear, and to know that those kind of things are going on, it could very well lead to people around the country that have therapy dogs that want to get into it. They hear your
yeah.
story, they hear Rigby's story, and they say, I want to do something like that. I want to be able to give back. How can I get involved? And they start looking around in their own community, and they find, a therapy dog program in their own community, and they step up and get involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your story is inspirational, David. So,
Well, I mean, it's been a learning experience for me. It helps me. It reinforces, teaches me having empathy,
uh-huh.
a sense of, as I said, community, belonging. It's helped me to learn to communicate with children of different ages, different cultures, different
Oh, yeah.
languages. Even give me an opportunity. When we go into the rooms, we give out these
Mm-hmm.
picture cards of Rigby.
How
And
nice.
they collect them,
Uh-huh.
and then they get stickers.
Oh,
Says
nice.
Uh, oh,
I'm
yeah.
on Team Rigby, and they put them on their beds. They put them on the wall, or they use it to post the picture card on the wall. The nurses have these too, and they
Well,
put
of
them on
course
their
they do.
phones on the back of their
Yeah.
ID. So they're all over the place, and just it's just been a great experience. It's been inspirational to me,
Uh-huh.
and it just happens every weekend. And it's fun sometimes to just interact with these people, uh, and even sometimes what I call doing a conversion, which is an interesting part of this, because as I mentioned, there are people that come from different parts of the world, and there are some cultures that are not dog friendly.
Yeah.
They're afraid of dogs, or they
Uh-huh.
think they're dirty, or for whatever reason. And so if I'm on the hall and there's a patient or family from maybe that ethnicity or culture or country, and then they see, they'll immediately retreat
Oh,
into the
yeah.
room.
Uh,
So of course I'll see the body language, and I'll learn to make sure she doesn't get in their way. But sometimes you get to these situations where, again, the patient's going to be there long term. So week after week, Sunday after Sunday, they'll
they
see
keep,
me,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you begin to see the change from kind of the fear or loathing to curiosity, and kind of, and they start to warm up, and then they will ask me. They'll finally get up the courage to ask me, "What does your dog do? I mean, why is she?" And I try to explain it. But
No.
that leads to, actually, it gets to the point they want me to come into the room.
Uh-huh.
And, all of a sudden now they see, the amazing thing that she does. And there was one time, there was a family like this, or I won't mention where, but it's from the Middle East, Middle Eastern country. And I came in on a Sunday, and the child was they'd been there a long time.
Oh.
And the parents were there, the siblings were there, the grandparents were there. It was like a party going on in the room. And when I happened to enter it, the person, I presumed he was the grandfather, because he was obviously the older person in the room.
Mm.
But he had his iPad out, and at that time he was Skyping with family back home.
Oh.
I come in, and all of a sudden there's a big commotion in the room. Oh, Rigby's here, Rigby's here. And he starts following me around the room with the iPad,
Oh.
and he's Skyping Rigby
To the
halfway around the
country.
world. I'm hearing the commotion going on with the family back home.
Don't you love it? Now Rigsby's known worldwide.
Yeah, it's
That's very.
international fame. But it's stuff like that. It's a tearful hug from a mother. Her
Um,
child didn't smile all week. Had been crying. Or I had a father. He chased me. I was going back to get my car from the park in Valley Parking. And I'm about to get in the car. He's coming running after me. He's got flowers. He wanted to give me flowers from me,
oh.
I haven't done that. I've had parents that wanted to pay me for doing that.
Oh.
So, how can I give you? I said, no, if you want to do something like, you know, please donate, you know, make a donation, you know, make
Mhm.
it for Rigby. Uh, you know, as I said, any given Sunday, these things will always happen. And
Mm.
you know, she turns frowns upside down into smiles. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
know, she erases tears and replaces it with laughter. Uh, she makes people feel good. There may be moments, they may not, you know, last for hours, but there are these moments, these special moments. You know, I'm filled with now 16 years of moments like that, and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
just
goodness.
keep adding to that.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm I'm blessed. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
blessed. The
And so
dog, I've
she
had.
does some amazing things at work, but I'd be remiss before we jump off to hear about her
Yeah.
personality and all her characteristics at home when
Oh,
she's
yeah.
out having
There's
fun,
one of them.
playing
Okay,
around.
her reward. If it's summer, it's swimming. She
Oh,
is a
okay, we got the
true water
swimmer.
dog. So yeah, there's a reservoir about 15 minutes from here, and she goes there and she swims. We'll go to someone's house. They have a backyard pool.
Oh,
There we are. We will. She'll spend hours in the pool,
oh,
nonstop, to the point beyond exhaustion. Uh, but that's what she loves to do.
uh-huh. Huh.
If it's winter,
Uh-oh,
it's
winter. Yeah, there you
in
go.
the snow. Yeah, it's
Oh,
jumping, catching snowballs.
Yeah,
oh my.
Yeah.
yeah.
As I, you know, say, you know, sometimes the colder the wetter, the happier she is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, she works hard. She has to play hard.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I
She's
love this picture that you sent, David. This one here.
oh,
Oh,
thank you. Yeah, thank you for posting. So this was I didn't know this came was done, I guess, in between our Sunday visits, but one of the kids decided to do a portrait of
oh.
Rigby. So the nurses posted it, and I actually caught Rigby studying her
Yeah,
Mona Lisa.
yeah,
But
yeah. Got to check it out. Make sure
yeah,
yeah, that it looks
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
very
that,
flat.
that's very cool. Well, you guys, David, you guys from your neighborhood therapy dog Amber to Cassie and now to Rigby, continuing that tradition and the things that you're doing for other people and lifting spirits and bringing happiness and joy is really a fantastic thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a touching story.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the opportunity to talk about. It's hard to take 16 years of
And
experiences
put
and certainly 6 years of what Rigby's done and condense it into this
Right.
paragraph and
yeah,
send it
Yeah.
in.
yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
why I'm glad.
I really appreciate what you guys do to allow us to, uh, I guess we have some bragging rights we can claim for our dogs and
yeah.
to
Yeah,
give them the shout out that they deserve.
they deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Uh,
She's had a wonderful career so far to keep going and for many more years, and you're doing a fantastic thing, and
yeah.
so it's just a great story to get out, and like I say, recognition. I mean, yes, it's a contest, but it's a recognition more than a contest. So we want to make sure to mention to folks, Hero Dog, go to americanhumane.org. Voting right now is open until September the 15th. You can vote once a day, every day, but I'll make
Oh,
sure that you vote once in each category. So you really get 5 votes a day. Go to the therapy dog category, read those stories, find something that really touches your heart, and make sure to vote. And I love hearing the story, David. Thank you so much for coming.
yeah,
Thank you for what you do, and thank you for telling us the story of not only the therapy dog journey that you've had, but this amazing work that Rigby is doing.
Well,
yeah.
thank you for letting me do it. And I guess, as I would say, Rigby, I would call her a hero with four paws and a feathered tail.
Yeah,
Oh,
she is.
perfect.
Well, heroes on both sides of the leash. She's doing
Yeah.
fantastic work, and so are you, David. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for joining us. And everyone, go
Yeah.
to AmericanHumane.org and get your vote in today. And make sure you vote every day till September the 15th. And best of luck, David. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
joining.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
David.
thank you. Bye-bye.